He's Kyren. He's mother freaking 8 feet tall. Kyren with the hat trick. Juwan Jennings had a day. Hats off to Juwan Jennings. The Rams without Cooper Kupp beat the Niners with a field goal with 2 seconds left. What a freaking Sunday. Jahmyr Gibbs doing massive work. AR5 disappointing. We had a mixed bag, but a lot of wins. Including these two beauties we dropped right before the games kicked off. Jahmyr Gibbs and Kyren, they seem like absolute locks for these. I dropped a hundo on this. Fantastic return on the investment. We've got a lot to break down. The Fantasy Football Show recap show. Week 3 recap show of the Sunday game starts now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
We got so much to discuss here. So much. First off, let's start off with Kyren Williams, who's mother freaking 8 feet, 9 feet tall, probably.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Got him.
A lot of goodness. Drop the Kyren emojis in the live chat. This guy had 116 yards in the hat trick, 3 TDs. He wasn't the only one to have a hat trick. Juwan Jennings also had 170, 11 catches and 3 touchdowns. Fantastic day for Juwan Jennings. Somebody you should absolutely be trying to sell high after, Debo comes back. He might have a good 2 or 3 weeks, though, so you could ride that train for a little while, but he will be somebody to explore trading high. Don't think you're getting that every week, but what a day from the hat trick duo, Kyren and Juwan Jennings. Jahmyr Gibbs looking good. Let's break down. So again, congrats to anybody that tailed these 2 picks. These are the only 2 picks we dropped on the show before kickoff, so we smashed the hell out of those. Congrats if you tailed them. All right, let's go over some of the stats that we have here. What a mixed bag, but what a good day for a lot of reasons. We have the wide receivers for the Rams were not very productive. There wasn't a lot to be proud of. This was something that I think we walked into the week thinking that we're going to see at least DeMarcus Robinson, at least Jordan Whittington, at least Tyler Johnson having a big, huge monster game. At least one of them. We just weren't sure which wide receiver was going to do it. They didn't really have a productive game. Tutu Atwell had 4 catches for 93 yards, and obviously he becomes more relevant now that Kupp is down and Puka is down, but he will also return to not even playing once those guys come back. So sell high opportunities everywhere if anybody does well out of the ordinary. Kyren Williams, 24 totes. The 3.7 was tough treading. Like, the Niners are a tough defense. This is a tough defense. Crowded, congested. They didn't have any wide receivers to get things going. So it was, let's stuff Kyren early on in the game and make this team win through the air. So Kyren didn't have any room to run, especially at the beginning of the game. But Kyren ran for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also caught 2 passes for 27 yards and a score. We said he'd be more involved walking into 2024, and he sure as hell is. And not only that, this guy has 5 touchdowns through 3 weeks. And the questions we got, do I start Kyren? Do I not start Kyren? Kyren's the number 1 running back for any team. You drafted him as your number 1 running back, unless you went, let's say, Gibbs and then Kyren, then he's your number 2 running back. But it's wild that people even thought about benching him. Kyren to the mother freaking moon. 5 TDs in 3 games. This is probably the running back 2 or 3 overall, at least. If not, some people's 1. Barkley's going to be a lot of people's 1. Bijan still gets to go tonight. Maybe Bijan is going to make a statement tonight with a 2 or 3 touchdown affair. If he does, he'll jump immediately to the number 1 running back spot because of the usage. Bijan's been getting number one running back usage overall, no question, no hesitation, no equivocation. So the only thing lacking for Bijan's been touchdowns. If Bijan punches in even 2 touchdowns today, 1 receiving, 1 running, 2 running, doesn't matter how he does it. If he punches in, maybe even 1, if he punches in 2 touchdowns, he'll be the consensus 1 or 2 overall. But this man has to be considered in the top 5 running backs. When's he going to get damn respect?
Let him cook.
When's he going to get some damn respect? Because all he does is go out and score touchdowns. 116 total yards. Now, I'll admit, you know who else needs respect? Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings was a dog. 19 catch Juwan Jennings had 11 in one game. And you know who else deserves some mad respect coming off of this game? Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, look, I've been hard on Brock Purdy, but without Debo, without Trent Williams in moments, without Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy is really what's this guy saying? Another bad. This man said trade. Okay, here, you don't like the show, you don't have to be here. There you go. Now you don't have to watch it. I love making somebody's day. If they don't love being here, you just send them packing if they want. You don't want to be here, that's fine. Juwan Jennings or Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's pocket presence is one of the best in the NFL. It really is. Watching Brock Purdy navigate around, he senses when somebody's coming over from the left side, the right side, and he navigates around. He tries to give himself as much cushion as possible from all the different pieces on the board. And so Brock Purdy is fantastic at that. And the Niner fans should be excited about their future with Brock Purdy. He really is a good quarterback. I don't know that he's ever going to be top 5, top 6, but he is definitely in the top 8, 9, 10, 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not even saying he can't be, some seasons a top 5, 6, 7, but he's definitely a good quarterback. And they're always going to have good weapons and a good offense in San Francisco. But San Francisco is in a little bit of trouble. 2 losses in a row, 1 to Minnesota, 1 to a skeleton crew Rams team that came in without both of their star wide receivers. Both wide receivers could be considered top 6, 7 wide receivers. It's crazy when you think about it. What an amazing day and bad day, mixed bag. So Stafford 1 TD, 221, not much cooking. We go over to the Niners side of this ball. Purdy had 3 touchdowns, 292, fantastic day. Now Jordan Mason didn't have the volume we want, but he certainly had the yards per carry. 4.1 was fine. The couple of the plays were really key plays. A nice first down at the end, and I think it was like a 15 or a 16, 17 yard run. It's tough to know what to make of this running game moving forward. This is why it's kind of been on my mind and in my words to explore a trading of Jordan Mason before you get to the end of the road. And the end of the road, I'm not talking week 17. I'm talking about if Jordan Mason's playing mediocre football for even 2 straight games leading into Christian McCaffrey's return, he's not going to have any trade value. And I do think Jordan Mason will still have good value, hold value, if you don't get the opportunity to trade him away, and you probably won't now. You have to wait another week if you wanted to even trade him. But the whole value is still very good. This is a Montgomery, okay? Even if Christian McCaffrey comes back, Mason will be Montgomery. That's a very good RB. It's not a top 5 RB like he's capable of being, but it is a very strong running back too. So in a worst case scenario, hold Mason. Don't sell him low. Don't sell him for dog water. Keep him. Hold him. He'll be a Montgomery in a worst case scenario if you cuff him to Garendo. And there's so many people that keep saying, Smitty, should I pick up Garendo? I have Mason. Do not listen to the show over and over and over. We beat this like a dead horse. So, it's going to be unbelievable to see how many people come circling back in if Mason gets injured or wears down and Garendo goes into the lineup. It's going to be crazy. I saw some people complaining in the chat. I see a few people saying, Smitty doesn't run your team. Look, if anybody's upset because of the Juwan Jennings explosion, there were plenty of people that asked Juwan Jennings or this player And I said Juwan Jennings in some of those cases. Juwan Jennings wasn't a straight up bench across the board. Some of you are clinging to maybe you had a tough call. Maybe you had a tough call that even you couldn't decide Juwan Jennings or said player. But Juwan Jennings is a sell high. I know some people might want to pretend he's going to continue to do this. He's a sell high. He was still a very good play in certain scenarios, and he was too risky to play in other scenarios. You can't predict some of these things, some of these pop-offs to happen, but Juwan Jennings by no means was a cut him, don't pick him up. He's been on the waiver board. He's been in the questions. He's been answered as the start for some people's teams in the questions all day yesterday and all day today. So don't try and come in here and act like Juwan Jennings was a must-sit on this channel just because you had a tough call and you had to go with one over the other. That's the way fantasy football works. And you can't say, I knew it, because if you knew it, you would have done it. Now, as for a whole lot of other situations, a couple of people saying Achan, what's this guy says Achan is expletive. Bro, if you think Achan is bad based on today's game, you didn't watch the games. You're a box score Bobby if you think Achan's garbage.
All right, prepare for take one. All right, action.
He's a box score Bobby. He's a little sloppy. Box score Bobby. He's a box score Bobby. He's very sloppy. Bobby.
Yeah, and like, here's the thing. It's like, what some of you complaining Caleb's in the chat. I first of all, I'm not speaking to the majority or even 99% of you, but there are some people that come in here like to blame their problems on other people. You know, Wild Bill, Smitty said Jennings was a safe start. I heard Smitty pick Jennings a few times in some picks. So what do you expect when you have very good options and Juwan Jennings against those very good options? Some of you didn't have good options, and Jennings was a safe play. I don't understand where the confusion is. You know, people get so bummed and bent out of shape when their team doesn't do what they want it to do. They blame other people, and that's fine. This is always the vibe coming into the Sunday morning wrap-up show. There's always aggression in here. There's always a couple really upset Ungers and a worried William or worried Willie that comes in here and starts crying and complaining about how a call got wrong. You make your own decisions. You come in here, you ask for help. We give you the best help we can. Kyron Williams starts cooking for some of you.
Let him cook.
You know who didn't cook though? Let's go through some of these games. There definitely were a lot of things that worked out and things that didn't work out. Let's go over to the let's see here. What was the game I wanted to look at? Let's go to this Cardinal game. I don't know how many games I'm going to roll through like this because it's giving me fits when I'm trying to click on things. Like, see, I can't even. My mouse is not navigating. Got to go quick. Box score, Bobby. Okay, Goff, 2 TDs, 1 INT, 199. David Montgomery, 105 and a score. Very steady player. That's why he's always a safe call whenever you have Monty versus this guy versus Monty. Yeah, some people can't be helped. I know, bro. I think Jahmyr Gibbs had enough production that we can say Jahmyr Gibbs' season is still in full effect. Gibbs had 2 touchdowns, 20 yards receiving. You'll see down here Gibbs has this 0 receptions for 20 yards and a touchdown. If you didn't watch the game, you're probably thinking this is a typo or an error, but it's not, because there was a hook and ladder where St. Brown caught the pass, got the yardage to that point, and then pitched the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs, and he ran in a 20-yard touchdown. So it was an unbelievable score. It was an 8-point play. There was no PPR points to it, but an 8-point play regardless, with the 2 points for the yards and the 1 touchdown. And then Gibbs had the 83 on 5.2 a pop. I'm sorry, did I say 2 touchdowns? I meant 1 touchdown. I'm sorry, 1 touchdown. 83 5.2 a pop, the touchdown, the 20 yards. It was a nice day. I'm sorry, he had one. He had one touchdown. I misspoke there. So nice little outing here. Cardinals could have done a lot more, especially with Marvin Harrison Jr. There's a couple badly thrown balls by Kyler. Kyler is always going to be a mixed bag. He's never going to be consistent, as will AR5. I know everybody wants to drop AR5, and I don't mind if you bench him for a Kyler or something, but AR5 is still too powerful to bench, and this was a very tough matchup for AR5. So we knew the risks starting AR5 on a tough game in a tough game. He does look really, really inaccurate right now, though. Really inaccurate, I must say. And I believe in Shane Steichen enough to say that this could turn around. However, I don't know that everybody will want to risk banking on that, until they see it. And I understand that. So we will have some discussions there will be some discussions to have around AR5. And they'll be, stop the excuses, man. Didn't you hear what I just said? Didn't you hear what I just said? Like, what about what I said doesn't make sense, PJ? I just said we'll have to have a discussion around it. Did you not hear what I just said? What excuses did you hear come out of my mouth, PJ? Because I think you aren't listening. I swear, it's like every Sunday morning recap, we have this, I don't know, it's a buildup of aggression that comes swinging in here where people don't know what in the hell they're talking about, like PJ. Kyler Murray, 1 TD, 1 INT, 45 yards rushing. Marvin Harrison Jr. could have had 2 scores. Could have had 2 scores, could have had easily 80, 100 yards. So when I watch this game, I know what I saw. I know what my eyes witnessed. And it was like he could have had a whole bunch. There's a lot left on the table. And that part sucked. That part sucked really badly. But it is what it is. Let me see if I can find. There's another game or two I wanted to go over. AR5, let's just go over that game while we're here. AR5, 2 INTs, 150, 167, 2 INTs, only 24 yards rushing. We don't have the rushing production. I think the thing that AR5 needs to do, if he's even startable next week, depending on your options, PJ, depending on your options, you must figure out if you can win off of 100 yards throwing, no touchdowns, and 1 or 2, maybe just 1 rushing touchdown and 60 yards rushing. He's definitely going to be a top 5 QB at times. There's no doubt about it. He's still learning. This is a horrible matchup. And, for some of the questions that were closer calls than I like to admit in hindsight, I'm going to have mistakes every single week, guys. I'm always going to miss on things. Some of you hyper-focus on them, and you like to come in and swing a flag around and say, Smitty, I told you you're such a bad man, when we have a lot of wins, too. And one of them is on screen right here. We've had a lot of wins in here. Okay, and we have wins every single week. I'm going to have L's. Let me take away your ammunition. Let me punch your argument right in the gut and deflate your balloon. I'm going to miss on things every single week. Every single week I'm going to get an AR5 wrong over a Brock Purdy. Or AR5 wrong over a Sam Darnold. Hey, Smitty, should we start Sam Darnold? Should we start Sam Darnold over AR5? No, now, maybe. Okay? Yeah, because Sam Darnold's looking really smooth. I'm going to get stuff wrong. I'll take away your ammunition right now. You have no ammunition. I'm going to miss at least 30% of everything that comes out of my mouth, and that's going to be the most accurate any one person could possibly be during that situation. 70% of 50-50 calls is remarkable if we're landing that kind of rate. And we kind of have been. So, PJ, you can either watch or not watch. I don't care. There's no roll call here. But if you want to come in and just be a hater in the comments, you don't have to be here. You decide what you want to do, pal. And that goes for any of you. There's no need to go through all this. I'll tell you what I missed. AR5 is hard to start moving forward. Now, for those of you that think I'm scared of Devon Achane, you got another thing coming. Because Achane don't scare nothing. All right, let me rephrase that. Achane scares everyone. He's scared. You let me do the scaring here. Achane scares everybody, but I ain't scared of nothing. Good thing this wasn't real, or I would have just poked myself in the head. Achane looks like Achane. He's getting fed. He's got massive targets. They went to him 4 or 5 straight times on a drive where Kyler Thompson was trash. They got to do something about this quarterback position, and I think they're going to address it. They're not going to bring, first of all, Skylar Thompson, what's the results of his x-rays or whatever? He might even be completely out. At this stage, I don't know because I had to go live. I didn't see the update on Skylar Thompson. Does anybody have a Skylar Thompson update? But hopefully, no offense to him, and I hope he's well, and I hope he's healthy. I just hope he retires or something healthy. But I don't want him playing next week because he is a liability. But this offense needs to be geared around getting the football to Tyreek Hill and to Achane, like I said, walking into the week, using Tyler Huntley, who's a pretty decent QB. And Tyler Huntley's so mobile that you're going to have defenses have to spy him. And that's going to make for a very, very nice amount of one-on-one situations, not a whole bunch of just double-teaming Tyreek or double-teaming. You can't double-team a team that has Tyreek, Waddle, and Achane if you've got a mobile quarterback. So maybe Snoop Tyler Huntley is able to do something. They might even get on the ringer and get Bryce Young in, but that wouldn't even transpire or take effect, for a while anyway. So I believe that we do have a panic on Tyreek and on Waddle, which is the way we appropriately answered the call when the injury went down. When we were asked, and I say we because a lot of times I go to the audience because you guys are the most knowledgeable audience in the freaking space.
Mashed potatoes!
I go to war with you anytime. But when people said, are we panicking on Tyreek Hill? You bet your bottom dollar we're panicking on Tyreek Hill. Absolutely. And appropriately we did. But there's also a time to buy. And I'm buying Tyreek Hill. I am. I'm buying, I don't know about Waddle. I'm buying Achane. You bet your bottom dollar I'm buying Achane. Who's the number 2 running back through 2 weeks? Who's the number 2 running back through 2 weeks?
Achane.
Through 2 weeks. And he had very good usage in this game. If you think Achane, like somebody said when we walked, that Achane is expletive, you just didn't watch. Achane's a must buy right now. Skylar Thompson, get him out of here. Don't ever bring him back here. That's right. Bringing Nathan Peterman over him for sure. For sure. AR5 is a whole different case. Jonathan Taylor, 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Good luck buying Jonathan Taylor on the low ever again this year. Even if he has a slump next week, people will remember this 110 and 2 touchdown game. People will understand that Steichen's going to need to lean on the run a little more because look what happened. They won this game. AR5 and the Colts won this game because Caleb Williams was so bad and the Bears were so bad. Caleb Williams had 363 and 2 touchdowns. And you'll hear a bunch of Caleb Glazers say, oh, what a guy. He had a good game. He made some good throws. He looked really bad. But let's not blame everything on Caleb. This is a Bears problem. This is a Shane Waldron problem. Like we've said from the beginning, it's not one problem. Caleb's got his own problems up here. And I don't think that translates to greatness. Does it translate to a quarterback that lingers in the NFL for years? Yeah. I mean, he's got the physical talent, the arm talent. I've said this every time I've ever ripped on Caleb on here. I've followed it up with he's got an arm. He's got the ability to scramble. He's got physical talent to be in the NFL. To be a top 5 QB? Hell no. To be a top, I don't know. I don't even want to say top 10. But a quarterback that can linger in the NFL. Maybe 3 years from now, he develops better in a different situation. I wouldn't be shocked if Caleb was on another team during his 5th or 6th year. On another team. Even 4th year. We've seen it before. And a part of me doesn't blame Caleb much at all in this game because Shane Waldron is the worst offensive coordinator in the National Football League. And the Bears are the worst team in the NFL for developing quarterbacks and putting them in a good position to thrive. This team is in shambles. The only reason Caleb has these stats is because they were just constantly needing to throw to get back into this game, even though the lead was not big for a while, and it really didn't finish, with a huge separation. It was just Caleb 3 and out, Caleb 3 and out, Caleb interception, Caleb 3 and out, Caleb interception, Caleb 3 and out, and it was like throw, and it was prevent. And it was a lot of just giving up big chunks to Caleb. If you watch the game, Caleb didn't have a good game. Caleb had wide open throws when the Colts were trying to win the game. So we had two bad quarterbacks, unfortunately for AR5 owners, two bad quarterbacks in this game going at each other. And it was like, at what point did it end? It was like, let this pain and suffering end. Except for when JT was running, it was a beautiful sight. Can we talk about the Panthers? Yeah. Remember last night when I said, don't be surprised if the Panthers win this game. Because whenever people think, oh, the Raiders are the best defensive play this week, they're playing the Panthers, this is when it flips on its ugly head. And everybody in the chat was like, no, the Panthers are winning. Well, the Panthers ended up winning. And so we were talking about this in the Patreon. There's definitely a situation where we could see Jonathan Brooks have a little bit more value now if he does return. We talked about this in the Patreon. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. It's a really good scenario, or at least a better scenario, if this team can move the football a little bit. And the Red Rocket is able to do that. Not to a degree where I'm ultra excited about the team overall, but it's enough. It's definitely enough. And so I'm pretty excited about what's potentially in store. Let me see if I can get this box score to pull up. So Lamar Jackson, 182-1. He also had 87 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Derrick Henry had 151 and 2 scores. We knew this was probably going to be a good game for him. This is certainly a good sell high opportunity if you decide. If you decide you want to get off the train, he could still continue to score touchdowns and have every other game good yardage, every other game bad yardage. The offensive line is putrid, but they played better in this one, obviously. And Dallas, Dallas is a team that can be opportunistic on defense, but they can also give up a whole lot. And they proved that. And they're definitely not the same defense this year from a yardage perspective, a yards against perspective. But I would say at the end of the day, if you could keep Henry without, you don't want to sell high or sell low. You want to sell high. You want to sell medium high. But you don't probably even want to sell medium or low because the touchdown production will probably be there, even if the yardage isn't. But Derrick Henry had a nice little day. We had Zay Flowers returning back to normal. This is why he was a sell high. Lamar just spreads the ball around. He rotates his players. You might say Likely's a benchable piece right now. I still like Likely, but there's concern even for, look at Mark Andrews. 1 target, 0 yards, 0 reception. So it's more of a Lamar thing, not a Likely issue. But Likely is still a guy that I'm starting at tight end inside the top 12 tight ends. We'll have to take a look at what options you might have. But it is what it is. So, man, I mean, what a day in general. What a day in general. Kyron Williams, remarkable day. Zamir White did not get his 20 touches like promised. And the matchup was perfect for it. It didn't happen. So, liar. I call liar on Antonio Pierce. I also say Antonio Pierce needs to be fired immediately. He's not a good coach. Antonio Pierce is not a good coach. If you're a Raider fan right here, let me hit you with some cold, hard facts. Your coach absolutely crapped the bed diarrhea style on draft day, coming away with no quarterback. Even getting Bo Milton or Rattler or trading for Justin Fields, which you easily could have done if you just upped the ante, gave a 3rd-round pick, but you didn't. The Steelers did. So Antonio Pierce, fireable offense on that alone. And this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He might be a very good motivator. He might be a very good coach to have on staff. But this Raiders organization is not going to turn around under this man's command. And it proof by draft day when they don't get their quarterback. It's stupid to not even take a gamble on a Bo Milton or Rattler, to not even have that in your arsenal of weaponry in hopes that you develop that player. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. Dak Prescott, the 379 and 2 touchdowns. A lot of like garbage time, but it doesn't matter. It is what it is. Monty, like I said, 106 and a score was awesome. You know, I could go over every player, but we don't have time with the game starting. I'm just trying to find a couple highlights and players I want to speak to. Marvin, we went over Marvin. Lamar Jackson, we went over Lamar Jackson. If we go over to the Dak Prescott side of this, 379 and 2 scores. Nothing going on in the running game. Dak was the lone touchdown getter on the run. So Dak having 3 total scores was a nice affair. He was a great buy low QB, probably no longer able to be bought low. He was a buy low QB. JT was a buy low running back. Kyron was a buy low running back. We're running out of buy lows. You didn't act on those buy lows. Those are smashes all week long. JT, buy them low. Gibbs, buy them low. Kyron, buy them low. They'll never be cheaper. We now have an opportunity to come in and buy Achane low. You're going to hear me say Achane a lot this week. Achane. Don't like it? Tough. Lamar Jackson, as I said, nice little game. Jahmyr Gibbs, 83, as I mentioned, and a touchdown receiving. Deontay Johnson at 122 and a score. I don't think that will continue, but I certainly think there is a correlation between him doing well and having a different quarterback. So you could hold him versus sell him. He certainly produced in the past. He has a history of doing well and a history of doing bad. You got to decide for yourself whether this is enough to send him packing and can you get a lot for him. And some of you that have him, you have other options and you might want to explore trying to beef up by using a guy that had a big game. Alec Pierce, 44 yards. He always does this big, huge one catch for 40 plus. DK Metcalf. Oh, we didn't even celebrate DK Metcalf yet. DK Metcalf.
Let him cook.
DK Metcalf was a monster in this game. Let me put this on screen here just so we can celebrate this man's name, this Mars man extraordinaire. Let me put it over here. DK Metcalf. What a day. What a day. And he could have been so much better. A lot of this happened in the very beginning of the game. It's always such a bummer when a player pops off in the beginning. Kamara does this all the time. Pops off in the beginning of a game, 3 touchdowns in the first half, and then you don't get much in the second half. 4 of 6, pulling in 4 catches for 4 on 6 targets, 104 yards and a touchdown. Just looks like he fits in really well in this system. This Ryan Grubb stretch the field. No more just go routes. Hey DK, you're so limited. Do a go route. You know, it was so ugly watching this guy get misused by Pete Carroll. His route tree is getting expanded. He's certainly capable of everything. I love this guy. DK to the freaking moon. To the moon. I know some of you want to talk about the Houston Texans situation. Look, this was a tough matchup. You either banked on them excelling over the defense, or they were going to do what a lot of teams do, fall victim to the Minnesota Vikings defense, which is going to shut down pretty much anybody it faces. So if anybody wants to say something along the lines of Tank Dell's garbage, Tank Dell had 5 receptions. He had 5 receptions in this game for 40-something yards. He had a decent day considering this offense didn't do anything. The entire offense didn't do anything. And yeah, we got to celebrate Malik Neighbors. Good Lord. Can we just say right now that maybe in 2024, it is very, very possible. By the way, McBride was evaluated for a concussion. We'll find out. Hopefully he's okay and good to go for week number 4, but I don't know that he will. He could definitely be held out. Zach Charbonnet was a monster in this one and a great play this week, as we said over and over on the questions that whenever he was involved. Very safe. Very safe play. If you wanted to go Zach Charbonnet, you were going to get an okay from me. There's certainly dilemmas that demanded maybe a different answer. Everybody's question was different, but Zach Charbonnet had 18 totes for 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 catches for 16 yards. What a phenomenal play. And he's a good sell high. Another guy that we're going to have on the waiver wire list, because I don't think a lot of people picked him up, even though they should have, because we talked about the takeover was near. Can you guess what player I'm about to put on the screen right now? The takeover is near. The takeover might be here. And this isn't a number 1 running back, but it is a fantastic flex or maybe low-end running back too. Can anybody guess who it's going to be? Bucky Irving. 9 totes for 70 yards. He had a monster. It was pretty much, I think they might have ruled it at the 1. Like huge 40 or 50, I want to say 40, 50 yard run called back. Bucky Irving takeovers in full effect. So he's definitely, bro, Rachaad White looks awful between the tackles. Just absolutely putrid. He ran 6 times for 17 yards. And they're going to switch, especially given that they lost this game to the Broncos. They're going to want to make a change. Bucky is one of the best pickups of the week. Bucky is a great player to grab and get ready to get, especially if you've been ravaged with injuries and you don't even have a running back too, and he's out there. Laporta returned to the Lions Week 3 game against the Cardinals. This was a very scary moment for Laporta owners when we thought we lost Laporta for the season. I'll put this up on the screen here. I'm trying to find the Neighbors graphics so we can talk about Neighbors real quickly before the game kicks off. I'm going to be ending when the game kicks off. I'm going to do these super chats, which are piling up here. Lions return to the Week 3. Sam Laporta returned to the Lions Week 3 game. Let me find this Neighbors thing, and then we'll head over to the super chats real quickly. Javonte Williams. Let's see. Neighbors. Where's Neighbors? Trent Williams, we thought went down in the game with it looked like a season-ending injury. It always does with him, but it was cramps. He's just not in shape. And Lamb Chops is not exactly in his bag right now either, and that's because of holdouts. Look at Ayuk. Look at CeeDee Lamb. Look at Jamar Chase. These are all players that have struggled to start the year because holdouts are horrible. Horrible. Neighbors, 8 of 12 targets. Now, the impressive part is, like, this guy's getting massive targets. He pulls in 8 of them with, sometimes good balls, sometimes inaccurate balls. 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dare we say that Neighbors and freaking MHJ are the number 1 and number 2 wide receivers walking into 2025? Is that a crazy bold statement? Could we be sitting here going, don't trust Lamb, he's too up and down, Dak scares me? I mean, we can envision that, right? And JJ's certainly up there, okay? JJ's certainly going to be up there still. But is it crazy to think about this? That Neighbors and MHJ, and let's call it JJ and Lamb, are the top 4 wide receivers? It's super possible walking into 2025. All right, let's get these super chats out before we run out of time. Myra with a $20 hauler, up 112.04 to 102. He has Butker. Who do you think wins? Oh, that's going to be a close one. I would say this is going to come down to 1 kick. And I'm going to say you win it, Myra. I'm going to say you win it. I hope you win it. In some ways, I hope you win it. In some ways, I hope that they go for 2 and score a lot of points still, though, because I don't want this to be a low-scoring game. Craig with a $20 hauler. This week, I traded Hurts and Henry for Gibbs and Love. Started Geno today. Tell me I didn't make a mistake. You traded Hurts and Henry for Gibbs and Love. I don't think this could go either way. I don't think it's one of those trades where I feel like you can even tell. It's very close. It's hard to judge Henry right now off of a monster game. He's 30 years old. By week 10, he could look like a very different player. Think about Eckler coming out of his 27-year-old season. This guy's 30. Coming out his 27-year-old season, top 5 running back, top 5 overall pick, and looked like nothing instantly. It happens quickly. It can certainly happen in the middle of a season. Gibbs looked phenomenal today, and I think Jordan Love is going to be excellent upon his return. So I don't think you need to be overly panicked or concerned. I personally would sell high on Henry anyway, And Hurts didn't exactly look amazing today, so Love could be better than him. Not saying I necessarily draft that, but I need Smitty to take a lap on Juwan Jennings. Jolts, I don't need to take a lap on Juwan Jennings. So, no, I don't. We already talked about this, that he was a safe play. He was a very safe play. But just because I don't think he's got long-term value, and I still don't, I think he's a great hold and temporary play, this doesn't change anything. He's opportunistic in this situation. I love Juwan Jennings right now, like you. Very good game. Very excited about it. Very excited about his next week. But he was never a full bench across the board, bro. So, no, thank you. You still big on selling Henry? Yes, Kiefer, exactly like I said. You can hold him all year and see what happens, bro. Kyron and King Henry, Monty, 3-0 baby, says Andre. Andre, nice job, pal. Game's kicking off right now. Worthy or T? You know my answer. I've been saying Worthy all week long. Hopefully you got Worthy in there. This one here, think Brooks is still coming for Hubbard. Yeah, Brooks is going to take Hubbard's job eventually. Definitely. Bucky to the moon. Don't trust the Browns offense. Bucky is fantastic right now. Moss or BT Monday night at the flex. Moss, BT. I'm going to go BT in this situation, my guy. Good question. Offered Reed for Dobbins. I'd rather have Reed over Dobbins right now. Taysom or Tyreek Hill a buy low. Absolutely. Tyreek Hill will be a buy low. A-Chan will be a buy low. For sure. For sure. Okay, where are we at here? Tatered, appreciate you. Smitty, Derrick Henry, what do we do with him? You hold him. This is the instruction for Derrick Henry. You hold him if you can't sell him high. If you can only sell him even medium high, you just hold him. Let him do one more solid touchdown dance or two, and then try and trade him again. But if anybody thinks Henry's going to stay healthy all year with this offensive line, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a tall order. A very tall order. Think how everybody yelled at the Christian McCaffrey take in the preseason. Oh, Christian McCaffrey, you can't. And now everyone's like, Christian McCaffrey's cooked. Like, it's going to take 2 games of Derrick Henry looking like a 2-yard per carry dog water player, and everyone's going to jump off the train as quickly as they're acting like they've been on it the whole time. He's very good. He's very good. But Tatered, you got those 28 points. You don't need to think about those points anymore. You need to think about what can you get for him. Fantasy football is about buying low and selling high during the year. You can sit on a player because he scored a lot of points, or you could do the old maneuver of buy low, sell high, and find yourself 2 players that are going to come in strong. Come on, Smitty. I took Jennings out of my lineup because you said Whittington take a lap. Whittington and Jennings had very similar value walking into the game, bro. So, you got to look. You got to take responsibility for your own situation too. I will say, if I said Jennings go to the bench over Whittington or over any other player in your situation, I'm sorry I missed on that. But at the end of the day, bro, I can't control everything, and I'm not going to get 100% of the things right. I can't sit here and do an apology tour for trying to get 50-50 calls right all game long. Kyron, King Henry, let's go. Appreciate you. Kenobi says, oh, that was Kenobi's message. This one here from Strike. Can you grab what? Can you grab DW my trades? I don't know what that means, bro. Do you mean rate them? Mason Chubb for Kyron. Smash. Diggs Ford for Collins and Evans. Smash. Oh, no, Diggs and Ford for Collins. And then Evans for Cup. Smash. All those are great moves. I love buying low on Tyreek Hill. Absolutely. Hassan, appreciate you. Down 24. What are we saying here? Down 24. Got Mahomes, Worthy, Bijan, Gesicki versus Brian Robinson Jr. Rice. That's gonna be. I think you win that. Bijan getting the carry. Bijan looks so smooth. They just need to give him more. You get a lot more right than you get wrong, Smitty. No need to explain. I know, but I like. I'm going to defend myself. I'm not a person that's going to be walked over. Even by the super chat. And I'm not saying that Kenobi was trying to do that necessarily. I'm just saying that, look, I'm going to miss stuff. Am I going to sit here and beg your forgiveness when I get a 50-50 call wrong? I can't do that. I got to move on. We got to move on and adjust and adapt. You know, you don't want your commander-in-chief licking his wounds like Caleb Williams in his mama's lap when he gets a call wrong. You get a lot more right. Appreciate you. No need to explain yourself to these box score bobbies. I'm 3-0. Nice job. Please play the box score bobby. I'll play it on the way out, Andre. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. Kevin says, happy week 3, Smitty, Deontay Johnson, and Sam Darnold to Saturn. Sam Darnold needs to start being taken seriously by me. I admit that. I do think, and I even said this in the Patreon, I do think that at least 2 of, this is before the games really were going, or they just started, but Carr, Darnold, and Baker. I do think 2 of those 3 guys will not be what they seem to be, you know, in a handful of weeks from now. Drake London, wide open touchdown. Drake London, wide open touchdown. Drake London, wide open touchdown. Tank or Rome or Jennings rest of season. Look, Jennings for the next couple of weeks while we await Debo. And then I do believe in Tank Dell. I don't care what 3 weeks tells somebody that wants to overreact. Tank Dell still had 5 catches for 40-something yards in a horrible game where Stroud did nothing. Isan, you got this, pal. You got this. Bears underrated defense. Yeah, they are. AR5, people are going to give up too quickly on AR5 when they don't have a better option. If you have a better option, it makes sense. About to offer Deontay for Brooks. I don't mind either side of that, to be honest with you. I don't even want to say that Deontay doesn't deserve that look. Sell Godwin for Hill. I would take Hill in a second. Sharps won me the week. Sell high, especially if you don't have Walker. Go to the Walker owner, see if he wants him. But yeah, Sharps, if he starts another game, he'll be fantastic. I want Ayuk gone. What can I get for him? Rice, Worthy, those guys are playing. So if one of them plays badly, I think DK's out of the picture now. ETN, potentially. We got to start there. I think we got to see, what players. Let's let the week fully conclude. We still got 3 games to go. Barkley for Gibbs and Brooks. I'd rather have Barkley by a hair right now over Gibbs by a hair. That's a really tough question, and I honestly could change with the wind. I love Gibbs. Drop Pollard for Bucky. I would say try and trade Pollard. I know he had a bad game, but he still probably has some trade value. Drop your kicker and pick up Bucky, and then try and maneuver out of that Pollard value. Lamar and Mason for Mahomes and Jacobs. I would take Mahomes and Jacobs and run. Absolutely run. Easy question. Is James Conner cooked? I don't know. But Benson eventually will get some run, I think. Conner's older. He's 29 years old, and he always gets hurt. So, traded Shaheed away early this week for London. Congratulations. You just got a touchdown overcome. London season's in full effect. He was wide open on that score, too. What are your thoughts on Ronnie Rivers maybe being an early cuff? Yeah, I mean, I almost say, like, if you can afford it, own all 3, or pick up Ronnie Rivers and drop your kicker, and just make sure each week you're picking up Ronnie Rivers and you're just holding him. What should I do with Waddle? I got Olave, London, Godwin, Terry, Coleman, Bijan, Kyron, Mostert, Brooks, Hurts, AR5, Ferguson. I guess I would entertain a Waddle for ETN. If you got to give up a little more, you do it. I think, maybe Mason owners are freaking out. You could always trade Waddle for Mason if you wanted to ride that train. And again, I think Mason still holds like Monty value. Monty. Achane, give up a little more. Waddle and a running back for Achane. I don't think Brooks and Waddle might get you an ETN or something. I don't know if it'll get you an Achane. You can certainly try. Achane will definitely be a buy low walking into the week number 4 beginning. And then this final super chat from Superfish. Pick up Pick up the red rifle at the last minute and thought he might save my dynasty squad with Hurts and Tua, and at least for a little while. Crazy season. Nice job. Red rifle might do okay. All right, well, now we're doing some play-by-play as we potentially await another super chat or two as we roll into the first quarter here. 11 minutes left in the game. I'll open the phone lines just briefly. No full team evals. I'm watching the game. I'm trying to
Call into the show. Call into the show.
no full roster evals. I can't even absorb what you're going to tell me if you're going to come in and spit off your entire team. So know that if you dial in, I'll have very little concentration. Zach Charbonnet monster. London was wide open. Jeez. That was an unreal walk-in. 717. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty. It's Colby.
Colby from where?
From Pennsylvania.
What's up, Colby? What can I do for you?
Hey, so I put in a super chat that I dropped Jennings and put Whittington. Man, I'm not mad or nothing, but man, I just I'm still winning. But
I mean, bro, you can't. Bro, you can't. Let me just tell you something. You can't look at it like that. You didn't know. If you knew, you would have done it. There's a guy back in the day. A guy in our league used to always say, "I knew it. He didn't know it. We'd always say, "You didn't know it, or you would have done it." And Whittington looked really, really exciting. If anybody says Whittington didn't look as exciting in some ways as Jennings looked, where they were both wide receiver threes, getting more opportunity this week, they're lying to themselves. Yeah. It is what it is. But you can't look back and reflect on it. You're winning, so who cares? I mean, there's nothing you can do about that question, bro. That question was a very, very tough call to make at the time. No matter what. Yeah, no matter what anybody wants to say after the fact. And by the way, the Lionheart's in the game right now, getting multiple snaps. I think the Lionheart is the guy.
Yeah. Hey, Smitty, I want to thank you because this is like my first year that I'm watching you, and you gave me a lot of pointers, and I went with it, and my team looks stacked. Like 18, Kyren.
Attaboy.
Man.
Attaboy. Yeah. Feed the Lionheart. All right, hey, bro, call back Colby if you got another one, okay?
All right. Thank you,
pal. Hold on, Travis. I got to play the Lionheart clip real quick. Guys, Casey marching down the field. Mahomes, there's a pass to Rashee Rice. Wide open. Let's feed the Lionheart.
What is a Lionheart? I am him.
When times get tough, they call on a beast. That beast rises up and starts to feast. Carson Steele will sharpen and do his part. Because he, the beast, is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart.
Lionheart is still in the game. He's in motion now. Throw it to him. Mahomes running for a almost first down. Wow, don't be careful, Mahomes. I hate seeing Mahomes get hit. 2 yards, third down and 2 for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and the Lionheart. What's up, Travis?
Hey, I think Lionheart's getting all the chances he can to show that he can run the offense, and he doesn't have to be amazing, but he just if he can stick with him, he'll be the guy.
It looks like P. Ryan might be.
I feel anyway.
Yeah, P. Ryan might be in the game now. Patrick calls a timeout.
Yeah, he'll get passing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's third down, so definitely feels like Lionheart might not be slated for the guaranteed third down role yet, but they did keep him in. He did run a route on that last play, so I really like the Lionheart. They love the Lionheart. The fan base loves the Lionheart, and he runs harder than anybody on the roster in between the tackles. So that's important. I think he gets into I think the Lionheart scores a touchdown. I could just see his hair waving in the wind, his blonde mane just like kind of flopping around as he's jumping up, and the teammates are slapping him on the mane, just hitting his mane, maybe getting caught on somebody's helmet as he's running through the pile of people congratulating him, and just keeping that football and just looking like a monster. I could just see it right now. I can envision Lionheart carrying a football to the sidelines. He's back in the lineup, by the way. They put him back in, so he's in there on 3rd and 1. They took him out maybe for a breather. They called a timeout. They put him back in, so he didn't even miss a play. He's back. Go Lionheart. 3rd and 1. Feed him. Feed the beast. Unleash the Kraken. Give the ball to the Lionheart. First down, Lionheart. I think that was a tough play. He got swarmed in the backfield, but he may have dove right for that first down marker. They're going to measure it. It's going to be really close. It could be inches. That's a bad spot. They need to review this spot. Reed does not look happy. It looks like someone took his chicken nuggets. He is not happy. Lionheart gets hit. That's a first down. That was a bad spot. That was a first down. Review that. They give it to Rice on a carry. Oh, man, he may not got that. They should have reviewed that. Lionheart got the first down.
Yeah.
They're saying first down. All right, go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
Nice. No, I was just thinking Worthy should get more touches than he's been getting. I know he's only been getting 3 or 4 touches a game. I think, especially now with Pacheco out, they should be drawing up more. And he's a rookie, so for the people worried about the amount of touches he gets, I think he should get at least 6 or 7 a game. I don't know if he wants that or not.
Yeah, he's gonna get 2 carries. He's gonna get 2 carries. Him and Rice both get carries. Juan says Fields.
I have both of them in a lineup. So
Juan says Fields looks good. He does, man. I mean, Fields is just he keeps winning. Caleb's 1 and 2, right? Yeah, Caleb's 1 and 2. Fields is 3 and 0. You love to see it. This right here from Lando. Would you trade Derrick Henry for Tyreek Hill? That is a very tough question because, I mean, I want to sell high on Derrick Henry, but in this case, you're buying low on a guy, and there's a reason to buy low on him because there's worries around his situation. You just saw Tyreek Hill do nothing. I think he probably does better with Snoop, but maybe not. I mean, you don't know. This could be a really low yardage quarterback that goes out there and throws for under 200 yards every game. It's hard to know what Snoop's going to do. I've always liked Tyler Huntley. I don't know if you guys remember about 2 years back. I was so excited about him. So I do like him a lot. He's a very good quarterback. This is the ideal situation for him. But he's just, the only problem is he's been in the league a while, and sometimes your expiration date comes and goes, and you don't really have the ability to capture what you could have if you were thrusted into a situation. But this is the best situation a guy like Huntley could get. So let's see what he does. I think, there's still a potential Bryce Young trade idea. It sounds like 4 or 5 teams offered a trade for Bryce Young. They're probably lowball offers, and all the 4 or 5 trades got rejected. But I could also see this franchise not trading him. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But what do you think about that? Off the top of your head, Henry or Tyreek Hill? Think about that. I'm going to come to you for your answer. Full PPR, and I have Olave, DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, and CMC. Without Mason, that's rough though. So you're Derrick Henry, trade Derrick Henry. You'd only have Mixon, who's injured, who should be back, and Josh Jacobs. Garrett Wilson and Olave. you could probably I don't know. You could probably survive better by keeping Henry, but I'm still interested in trading him high. But I don't know. What do you think, Travis? Keep Henry? I think you probably got to keep Henry.
Yeah, I'd keep Henry. The only way I'm worried about Henry is if he starts having multiple games where he's getting 25, 28 carries. If they keep him in that like 15 to 20, 15 to 18 range, I think he can hold up. And I think they're going to try to do that if they can.
You know, I think off this big game, Lando, I'm going to say this. You can get Tyreek and something. Even if you trade like a 2 for 2, I would do this trade, Lando. I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try and do a 2 for 2. If you can't get a 2 for 1, that's fine. Do a 2 for 2. Oh, almost a touchdown strike to Worthy. You can do a 2 for get 2 players for 1. You trade Henry, you get Tyreek Hill and something. But if you can't, maybe you're trading a maybe you're trading a DJ Moore and upgrading your DJ Moore slightly into like Rashee Rice or something. There's something you can do in a 2 for 2 or you get 2 players for 1 that involves this, because Henry just exploded and Hill did not. You should very much be able to get more, Lando. That's going to be my final answer. Second and 10, little 5-6 yard throw. Mahomes has got about 4 or 5 yards. Third and about 4 or 5. This would be a nice little end around to Worthy right here, or end around to Rice, but I prefer Worthy. Get the ball in Worthy's hands and get this 5-6 yards that you got. Third and 6. Let's go. Chiefs are 2-0. Atlanta Falcons 1-1. Chiefs are down 0-7. First quarter. Chiefs first drive. Rice in motion. Mahomes throws it down into the. Jeez, it's a catch by Rice, but it was pretty much in the turf. Hold on, Denny's calling. Oh, the Chiefs gonna go for it here. Denny, you're live.
Smitty. Want it.
What's up?
Want it.
What's up, Denny?
If the goddamn Dolphins covered +5.5, I've been doing all right. I'm doing
sorry.
real good.
I don't know why you would have bet on the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson.
I just bet them +5.5.
You should have come to me, man. I would have said to stay away from the game.
I should have. You're my best friend. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Denny. Appreciate you. You want to do karate in the garage?
Smitty, can I just ask you one thing? Can we do karate in the garage?
What? Hold on. I mean, I think we should. I mean, there's so many. Want it. You want to do bunk beds or something?
Yeah, let's move the bunk beds together. All right, hold on. I got to do play-by-play here, Denny. Hang tight. We got Mahomes in the gun. We got P. Ryan in there to his left. Let's get the Lionheart back in there as soon as possible. Kelsey's in motion, cuts across. It's going to be a little handoff. Can you turn down the background noise, whoever I added, Rick, and mute yourself real quickly, please? This is a small little run. P. Ryan to the right. It's about second. Is it second now? No, it's third down, right? And about 3. P. Ryan's coming out. Bring the Lionheart in. That's right, Lionheart season. Look at that glorious mane. This guy has the flowing mane, that blonde mane, just coming out of the helmet. He is. He's a beautiful man. Beautiful man. Hand it off to the beautiful man. First down, beautiful man.
All right. I'm screwed.
Denny, did you put a lot? Did you put a lot on the game? It sounds like you put a lot on it.
Smitty, it hurts. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
We're friends, right?
We're friends, Denny.
I could have used this mother son.
I'm sorry, bro.
Come on.
All right, hold on. Mahomes in the gun. He's got 2 RBs. Worthy was one of them in motion. Throws it. No, he's going to throw it to Worthy. Throws it to the Lionheart. You know what sucks is the Lionheart's not getting anything. It's not his fault. Like, I hate that. Like, H-Han had that all day long. They get the ball in Achane's hands, and he would just there'd be 3 guys next to him, and it's like it's not even that the team can't, maneuver around that. I keep saying that word today. It's not like the team can't even, it's not like they're incapable of setting up the RB or Worthy or anybody to have open space by good design. It just happens to be that because we need the Lionheart to do well. Oh, Mahomes interception in the end zone.
Yeah.
He threw it just a little short. Wow, Falcons have the ball at the 20-yard line. 7-0 Falcons. 2:46 left in the first quarter. Mahomes throws a pick. He was getting rushed, but he should have put more air under that ball. That would have been a touchdown to Kelsey. Mahomes wishes he could take that back. All right, boys, I'm going to be out of here.
I know, I needed that.
Let me go. Hold on real quick. Let me go over to Rick. Rick, what can I do for you real quick? You're live with Denny, Smitty, and Travis. Hello, Rick. You're live.
Ma!
You're on mute, brah.
No, Travis. All I needed
Rick.
was Miami.
Rick.
Sleep.
Ricky.
Rick.
Rick.
Rick's asleep.
Rick's
Rick.
pounding his head into the wall because Mahomes threw a pick. All right, Rick, I'm hanging up on you. You're not there, so Rick's taking a leak or something.
Good night, Rick.
All right, hey, Denny.
My sweet brick. Sweet brick.
Denny, final thoughts.
Never bet on Miami. I had the whole thing.
I could have told you that.
I had this whole thing. And then I just the whole thing went. So
Denny, sleep it off. Sleep it off. You'll be all right. All right, Denny. Appreciate you. Call in later tonight. We're doing the waiver wire show after the game. Later.
Thanks, Smitty.
Yep.
You're my boy.
Sebastian, you got 20 seconds because I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, where are you at on A.D. Mitchell? I unfortunately wasn't able to watch the game, but I know you probably were. Where are you at with him?
I mean, with AR5 not doing anything in this game, it's hard to be feeling great about the consistency A.D. Mitchell can bring to the table. I think once and if, because I don't think it's a guarantee right now. I'm a little worried about AR5. I'm not going to lie. Once or if he gets consistent again, then, and I believe in Shane Steichen enough that it's possible. I just don't know that's a guarantee. Then I'll be back on board maybe. But right now, how can you count on A.D. Mitchell when his quarterback can't throw, any sort of? It's bad right now. It's not great.
How worried are you about AR5?
I said, pretty worried.
I think he'll be fine down the stretch, but
yeah, pretty worried right now. Like worried enough to where I can't tell somebody they have to start him. Like there's one thing I need to take a lap on from last night is that, people would ask me AR5 questions and I'd hit the hang up button or take a lap button. But truth is, depends on your situation. You might be starting Sam Darnold over him right now.
He's got a tough schedule.
Appreciate your time, Smitty.
All right, later, Sebastian. Rick, you got 30 seconds.
Hey, I just wanted to share some good news on. I used your code for that betting site, and I actually hit a parlay today.
Attaboy.
You want me to tell you what it was?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, I got the gimme for Mahomes, the yard, and then I did Will Levis and AR with the interception, and then I had Henry for a touchdown, Jawan for a touchdown, Marvin Harrison with a touchdown, Charbonnet with a touchdown, and then Tony Pollard with 3 receptions.
Attaboy. What'd you put down?
Just let me put down 10 max, but I made 1,400, so I was like
1,400 on that? That's awesome, bro. Congrats, man. Can Denny have some of it?
Hell yeah.
Can you cash app Denny a 20 or a hundo? All right.
No, I said raise the spirits up a little,
Coach Smitty, good job, Rick. Appreciate you. Later, bro.
All right, thanks, boss.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I put a hundo on this one. Or was it 50? But this one paid nicely. This is the only thing I said on this morning's show. Somebody asked me for two semi-locks. Nothing's a lock, but these felt like glory. So congrats to him. All right, Travis, final thoughts.
No, I just need to see the Chiefs score some points, and I'll be all set. So
yep.
Hopefully that works out.
Yeah, I think it will.
I'll talk to you after the games.
All right, later.
See.
Trade Breece Hall for Tyreek and Josh Jacobs. Wow. I'll be honest, like, that's something to think about. I don't know if I'd do it, but chat, what are we doing here? Are we doing Tyreek and Jacobs, or are we taking Breece Hall? What side? Kirk Cousins scrambling with his. Yeah, he's not really scrambling. Chiefs D holds. Flag on the play, though. What are we doing here? Tyreek and Jacobs or Breece Hall? Vote on it. Travis says Breece Hall. Kerry says Breece Hall. Hall. Breece Hall gets the vote. We have a couple Tyreek and Jacobs, but very few. Yeah, I'd have to agree, man. The only thing, I mean, I'm very tempted to say, like, this could be a good trade if you need it. Like, if your team, you got to be honest with yourself and say, can I win with Breece Hall? And this is about as good as you're gonna get in a trade. Let's be honest. I mean, that's a solid haul. No pun intended for Hall. Solid haul for Hall. I mean, Jacobs and Tyreek. Jacobs 1 week ago was, you probably would have said yes. The chat would have probably been 50-50 on it. I'm sorry about all the bots my mods are taking care of. That's the expense of getting bigger. The bots are like, hey, have you heard about this guy? We could go in and try and bottom up. Hall. I'd say Hall, but like, if you need this, if your team can't win, maybe I do it. I think I'm dependent on your answer to that. Can you win with the current team you have? If you cannot, then Tyreek and Jacobs is about as good as you're going to get. That's a damn good return. All right, guys, I'll see you all after the game for the Waiver Wire Show. Appreciate every single one of your super chats. Hope you guys all win. Good luck with this game.
He's Kyron, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Wanted.
Smitty, can I just ask you one thing? Can we do karate in the garage?
'Cause they're wanted, dead or alive.